fellow collectors, Mark here, and today we're going to compare my two favorite Spider-Man, mint in box, ready to go. We have the new Maximum Series Spider-Man, which basically I got because this is the one I saw and thought, this reminds me most of that McFarlane Spider-Man when I collected back in the day. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 300 around there. This is the one I really love. 301 when he comes out. But then there's the Old Faithful. The Pizza Slice Spider-Man. This is one that was the go-to for a long time, and I thought I'd compare it, because if you get a chance to get either one, basically get them in the open market, they cost about the same right now anyway. But what's cool is they're both really worth getting. However, there are some differences. I want to kind of tell you, some of those differences out there so you can make a decision which one's going to be right for you to buy. And first off, I want to talk about the packaging. Now, Pizza Slice Spider-Man, obviously this is the old school's packaging. This is what you're used to with Marvel Legends. You have the nice, two extra set of hands. You got the second face. You have the piece of the Hobgoblin if you want to may have him there. Also, he has the pizza slice, like I said, and that's it. That's all you got. It's a nice little quick packaging thing. Set up just like all the other Marvel Legends things. Not too bad that way. Now, the Maximum Series, we're like, oh, this is the Maximum Series. It's going to be so much more, so much better, so much cooler. Well, looking at it, the back of this one has him in a pose and some of the other characters in the wave. The back of this one just has a cool pose that you can hopefully try to emulate when you do it yourself. Now, obviously, there's only been announced the other Hulk Maximum Series one, but overall, the packaging itself gives you a few things. On the side, you got, well, here's nice they show with the nice little spider sense thing, and then him crouched down on the other side, and then him swinging around. This one just has, the usual Spider-Man swinging kind of stuff you've seen in all the movies since Tobey Maguire. So, packaging-wise, looking-wise, the Maximum Series looks way better. Now, in the Maximum Series, what do you get in this one? Well, this one, 2 extra hands. This one, you get so many hands, I don't know what to do with them because, frankly, you can't pose with that many hands. But you do have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra set of hands. So you have punching, you have web shooting, you have with web shooting out kind of ones, which is kind of cool. And this one, the hands are just the shooting, the whip ones, and the punch ones to go with this normal hand stuff. So you have that. So obviously, more hands, more stuff here. Also, in the packaging, you get 2 extra heads. You get an unmasked Spider-Man, so you get Peter Parker, and then you get another Spider-Man there, which more looks like mean Spider-Man, like I'm upset kind of Spider-Man there, and it has a spider sense. But I think what makes this the Maximum Series, because they say it's got more articulation, all this kind of stuff. I think what makes this one the max is it comes with a stand and has a number of web effects. And let's be honest, when you want to go out and buy a good stand, and I don't know how good the stand is, so we'll see. When you go to buy those stands, you add on to it, you know what, the extra 20 bucks for this, whatever, 30 bucks. It is a bit more, I will say that. However, in the open market, you're paying about the same for both of these. So, let's open it up and test them out. So I will start with the old-fashioned one. All right, so got him cut open. Now pulling him out of the box. Get him out. Eventually, get him out of there in this nice plastic sealing. Boom. All right, put this over here. Now, in his box, nothing else hidden. No little side things hidden there like sometimes you'll have in there. Looking at him in the plastic, to be honest, I said this one reminds me of McFarlane. This one up close, a little bit of his head actually takes me back to Spectacular Spider-Man. Remember that cartoon, the Spectacular Spider-Man show? My kids loved that when they were little. This was awesome. That was the awesome cartoon. This is probably the one that's the closest to that Spectacular Spider-Man TV show, cartoon version, like looking at his face. Pop him out here. Now, right out. Getting him out. He's got a little wiggle. Can you see? He's got a little wiggle. This thing has never been opened. This is from 2015, okay? So he's been in this box for, wow, a decade. And he's got a little wiggle. So I know that's probably going to be an issue later on. Now, in terms of his movements, well, he's got the full, wow, look at this. He's got the old school, he can twist all the way around. You don't see that too much. In terms of his arms movements, can I bend his arms all the way up? Nah. It's got the double hinge. So he can be like, oh my, oh my. So you have this here. Butterfly joints. Let me get this out here. He's a little stiff. butterfly joints so he can go all the way back so he can have his falling down, like flying through the air, woo, kind of stuff. That's cool. I like that. Now, in terms of his, he is pinned, so you'll see it's not pinless. The other one's pinned. This has got pins, so those red dots pop in there. Now, in terms of other things, shoulders, I can only get his shoulders to go up. Hold on. Yeah, I can't get him to go much higher than this on the normal one, but if I rotate it around and make him look like he's, in trouble, then you got something. So, a little bit there, little issue there. Overall, he feels like I can tell this is a 2015 because he feels like that aged. It does not have the new feel, and I just see him wobbling like this. Oh, he does have the old feel. Now, looking at him, it's a Spider-Man that doesn't look and feel like an MCU Spider-Man. Now, don't get me wrong. I've liked all the Spider-Man they've had for the MCU, but let's be honest. The actors influenced the character, and the Spider-Man that you and I fell in love with was Peter Parker from the comics. This is definitely a comic book accurate Spider-Man having on there. Now, his ab crunch, go here. So his ab crunch. I wore the black shirt so you could see it like you put it in front of my face. Ab crunch, not bad. Legs, can bend them all the way back. So he has this. So hey, if he wants to get engaged, you can actually have him down here so he actually sits up. So you have that. I know some of you can't bend enough to do that. That's kind of cool. Thigh rotation there. The legs, the backs of the legs look really weird. Like, that looks kind of funky, but I'm going to guess it's so we can have more articulation, more movement, because it is Spider-Man. Now, in terms of his ankle joints, he only can go that far. Okay, if you can see it. This way back, this way forward. So I'm going to think poseability, I'm having more hope with this one with the extra stuff. But overall, stands up right off the bat. Not bad, not a bad figure. I'm glad I picked him up. Now, I also have to get that slice of pizza out here. So, let's see, they have him holding his pizza up like this to show off, like, look bad guys, I have pizza. So let's see if I can actually get it. Oh, and the pizza's pretty cool. Look, it actually has some cheese dripping off the side, which is kind of cool. Oh, and I see the pizza dripping off the side helps it hold into his hand. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, he's standing up pretty good. Like, I'm not even trying to pose him. He's standing up okay. So, I'm cool. I'm cool with that, Spider-Man. That's pretty cool. All right. So, overall, just right out of the box, haven't used any of the other face, anything like this. I'll put a little show up. Don't forget, every time we review toys, we put out like a vertical up there so you can see them up close and personal. But we'll put some of those on here too. But just right off the box, I would say of all the Spider-Man we have, and we have a lot because my kids, they love MCU Spider-Man, so they had all of the Tom Hollands back in the day. If I actually went to my basement, I probably could line them up for you. But this is my favorite. This is my favorite so far. I am so glad I picked this one up. I do also like the Fantastic Four Kick Me. With the little Kick Me sign on Fantastic Four Spider-Man. That was one I saw I had to pick up before we started doing our collector stuff. But that's a good one out here. This one does not stand anywhere near as good as this one. This is a much better figure in terms of this one is much firmer. Okay, if you want if you're looking for firmness, this is firm. This one is a little loose, but I will say can't beat Spider-Man with a pizza. All right, so we're gonna give him that. I would give that is a must buy if you are a collector and you're a Spider-Man person. You do not have this slice of pizza Spider-Man. That's worth it. The only thing bad I would say about it, he is loose. His back of his legs look all kind of beat up, and the looseness of it. But like for a 10-year-old figure straight out of the box, that was a good figure. Respect on that one. Respect on that one. Now, let's see if I'm going to be so wowed. Remember, this is a normal price figure here. So this nowadays would be, what, $25? This was like $55. All right, so is it $30 more? Now, it does have the extra stuff. I've never had any of the webbing, any of the stuff, so this is one of those things that appealed to me. The fact that it comes with its own stand, also kind of cool. Well, hopefully it comes with its own stand. I thought it did. I thought I saw it. So we'll see what we got here. Now, opening them up. This one, a lot easier to get into than the other one. The other one I had to like cut away and go get a knife and do all kinds of stuff, and then hopefully not ruin the box. Slips out very easily. Now, coming right out in the back, they have a secondary thing that has open hands with the things, and then his kind of when he goes down for his poses stuff, and then the little stand, you got that. So that's in there. Now, obviously, this one has so many more things. It's got the web shield. It's got the webbing that you can actually do your swinging with. You want to do that. It has the web bomb kind of thing here. It has the, you know, catching the bad guy stuff. It has the, you know, the spider sense. It's got, you know, the mad Spider-Man. You got the Peter Parker, the extra hands, the hands with the webbing coming out. I mean, that's cool. Like, you know, honestly, I'm much more impressed with this, you know, Maximum series than the Hulk one. Like the Hulk one, I just couldn't do it. I know it's cool because the chest squishes together and you don't see the stuff, but I would have expected some more stuff with the Hulk Maximum series one. But this one, Maximum series one, let's pop them out and see. Oh. Okay, watch out because the stuff will go flying. So let's check and see right off the bat. He stands right out of the package. That's cool. And then we've got his Statue of Liberty Spider Sense right there. Boom, standing right there. Now, looking from the back, his back is much better. He's got, here's something. For the ladies, or the men, Maximum Spider-Man has a much better butt than Pizza Spidey. But you know, Pizza Spidey's eating pizza. He's not keeping in shape. Maximum Spidey, he's maxing out his boots, right? So right there, just kind of holding on to him. I can't believe how much he looks like. This one looks so much like Spectacular Spider-Man. Anyway, taking this off. Look at him here. See, do we have any? He's got he has a little wobble too. I guess that's just a thing. It's not super tight, so you got to wobble in the legs. Now, in terms of, he is pinless, so you don't see the pins there, so the color schemes run all the way through. In terms of getting his arms all the way back up, yep, you can get it to his, you know, you can bend it all the way. Well, not all the way, but pretty much all the way, as much as I can. So I guess we're going for realism here. Now, in terms of his butterfly shoulders, you can open that up, So butterfly shoulders. Looks perfect from the front. The back looks weird, but still cool. Now let's see if we can get him. Wow, it doesn't. I guess you can go back like this. Well, you can actually have him as a prisoner very easily because his arms go back to be a prisoner like that. So there is that. But I think if you like the kind of flying through the air thing, I think this one has a better articulation for it. Now let's look and see what we got here. So head rotates obviously all around. Neck. He can get a good range of motion in his head. I didn't do this one. See, his range of motion. I'll be honest with you. The range of motion is about the same on both of them. Just looking at it, this is where I'm seeing the big difference. Okay, so the foot, so the ankle, the ankle can point all the way down, go up, but he has the toe articulation. Is that worth $15 per toe? Well, let's say you get $10 of extra stuff there, $10 per toe. If that's where you're at, you've got that. I'll have to pose him to really get some stuff. Now, ab crunch. It's got a double thing there, so goes a little bit farther. You can have that. In terms of his legs, ooh, come on. There we go. A little bit snug. He just came in yesterday, so got that. I ordered it from Hasbro, and it came. I already saw a lot of videos of him out, and then he came. That's one of the bad things about being a creator that does all their stuff through Hasbro. You're not the first to get your stuff. In terms of the Stella effect, oops. They all can do that, so at least you have that there. Now move into comparing, looking at him like this. Now, he definitely has this is definitely a darker blue than the light blue. Some people may say, oh, this is more like the original because it was like a black dark blue, and this is the more light blue. This is the kind of color, I like this color scheme better on the Pizza Spidey in terms of, feeling like it's Spider-Man. I really feel like this Maximum one is too dark of a blue, like looking at it. However, looking at it, one of the fun things in this here is they have his butt cheeks there, but he's got folds in the clothes because it doesn't form fit into his butt cheeks. It's like, oh, there's actual clothing on there. So you got that for there. Thigh. Yeah, it's got the thigh swivel, double pinless. He's got also the calf twist. You got that there for it overall. So, yeah. Actually, it is a pretty good figure. But let's put some poses together and let's compare what we can do with that. But going into the posing, I'm going to have to say, going into the posing, I do like the face of this one because it really is the McFarlane face. However, overall, I'm leaning on the Pizza Slice Spidey over Maximum, just in the figure. I'm not talking about all the accessories. And with the accessories, this is definitely going to win. However, if just it's a figure, if you're looking at them, they're out there loose, you get a choice between the two. So far, I'm going this one. But the battle's going to go into our fantastic posing phrase. And we're going to do 3 poses, so we can pose 3 that people like to do, and we'll go from there. Wow, and actually set them down, they stood up. Who knew? Our first pose is the pose that's on the side of the Maximum box. Okay, the Maximum Spider-Man box. It's the famous Spider-Man crunch down, thinking what's going on. Now, they look real cool here. Can you actually do it? Well, looking at these two, I'll be honest with you, neither of them really can do it. Now, I am not a professional poser. I'm sure a professional person, they'd be like, oh, what we're gonna do is we're gonna warm it up and move him around and cut some stuff out. We can do everything. But honestly, you want to get this pose, you can get him doing it, but you want to have a little bit more tilted up, but that does happen. The best I can do with Pizza Spidey is kind of a I'm an old man and my back hurts version of it, which kind of fits if he wants to be the you know, Tobey Maguire version. So this one, obviously, much more articulation, much more bending down kind of stuff you can do. So it has that. Obviously, and that's what we expect with this. Do we get much more, you know, articulation, much more movement, much more kind of stretchiness? Yes. The Maximum Spider-Man is a stretched out Spidey. Spidey's been warming up. He's got himself looking good. Spidey here, the Pizza Spidey, he is a bit tougher. So obviously the Maximum, they said, hey, you're going to have much more poseability. In terms of our usual kind of, you know, chilling out down there vibe kind of thing, yes, definitely wins on that one. Now, let's go to our second pose and see who wins this one. Okay, next up we have the classic Spider-Man hanging upside down. Now, I put them on there. Now, what's cool is one of the hands that the Maximum Spider-Man comes with actually has it so we can actually grip on to the webbing, which is kind of cool. And also, one thing I found out is if you want to do the you know, spider sense, it actually goes on both the heads, so you're okay there. But this one works okay. I couldn't get it exactly like they have it on the box, but for someone that's not an expert, and I don't, you know, build dioramas or stuff, I'm just a dude that likes to have some of these to show up and put around, works pretty well. I actually like it. This is kind of cool. Now, sadly, Pizza Spidey does not have a hand that holds it, so I had to tie it around his wrist to have him up there. Obviously, you don't have as much articulation. It doesn't look as cool when he's, you know, dangling here like he does the other one. So I gotta give the Maximum one a much better grade on that. But still, he does look pretty cool. And honestly, the more I look at him, the more I see Spectacular Spider-Man from the cartoon. Seriously. I don't feel bad that we haven't had him yet. Now, one thing I want to say, remember I said earlier, oh, this one comes with a stand. Well, the Maximum, it's not a stand for Spider-Man, it's actually a stand for his webbing. So if he wants to shoot his webbing or the web ball, you put it on there to have a little more dynamic kind of setup, so you have that, all right? So, obviously, when it comes to posing, 2 so far are going to the Maximum series because that's what they made it for, ultimate posing kind of stuff. Now, third one, we're going to do a fun pose, one that's more pizza oriented, let's say, to give Spidey, Pizza Spidey, a little bit better of a chance. Let's see what we think about that. So for our third fun way to kind of pose them, I thought we need to use the slice of pizza. Now, I'm using the Maximum Spider-Man first, so I gave him his web shooting hand and his little thing here, and Wolverine's trying to get the pizza, so he's trying to be there for it. Also, we can put the spider sense tingling on there that someone's trying to steal the pizza. So I think that was a fun little thing there. I will say his hand does hold up, but nowhere near as good as this one, though they both have the same kind of like open hand when he goes down on the ground to like have himself be in pose. So there is that. Though I will say I did try other heads. The heads were interchangeable. I could put the unmasked Maximum Spider-Man on the other Spidey, so that was cool. So if I want to have my more, I guess I'd say Spectacular Spider-Man on this one, that will pop on there, so that was kind of cool. But let's see what it looks like when we have the... Notice he's got some that have the webbing already starting to come out. We're going to switch over to our pizza-eating, made-for-pizza-eating Spidey. And he's going to have his pizza here, and look, one of his secondary heads actually has his mask off. Now this one, he doesn't quite have the cool thing here, but we'll pretend on there. And I gotta say, when you have the pizza shot here with the mouth open and the smile, like you get that little impish grin. And that's the thing, is the impish grin that comes with the Pizza Spidey is so much better than just the smirk that comes with the Peter Parker, that comes with the Maximum Spider-Man, Maximum Series 1. I got to give the half mask is better than the full mask for that one. So when it comes to fun, silly poses, I think this one's actually more fun because of the options you have. Poor Wolverine not getting a slice of pizza. But one thing I will say is if you're looking for it, the extra add-on kind of stuff, the webbing and everything for the Maximum Series is really good, and the arms are good. So if I'm looking at this, if you don't have a Spider-Man out there and you want to do dioramas, you want to pose, you want to do stuff, I gotta say the Maximum Series, it is good. And I will say I'm not upset at the higher price point. I know some people are like, oh, it's too much. No, this is a really well done. How I can pose it so much better, how much more everything bends in. I got to give him props for that. This is a really, really great toy. I do like this. This is highly recommend this. You want to pick it up, you will not be disappointed. However, if you're someone that just wants to kind of have fun, you just want to like just a normal one out there, I don't have the Maximum Series kind of stuff. I don't need the web shield and the Spidey sense stuff. All I need is sarcastic Spidey with a slice of pizza. Well then, Pizza Spidey is going to be the one for you. I will say overall, if I look at the color schemes, I do feel that the Pizza Spidey is much more, I guess I'd say it's much more fun. It's much more lively and colorful, and something that I'd want to have on my shelf because it would pop out more. Maximum Series, it can do so much more than the Pizza Spidey. However, the darker blues helps it, like, I don't know, it kind of makes it blur into the background a little bit more. So, I mean, he'd be safer fighting villains in this. This one's a little bit more bright, and this one's a little bit, I mean, this is tighter than this Spidey. It's quite loose. And I literally just opened up. This has never been opened. It's 10 years old, never been opened. So it's not like it's been played with and got wobbly that way. This one, much firmer, but it is newer. Definitely firmer joints than this one. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either of them. I'm glad I have both of them, to be honest. And if I was going to put them in there in terms of the red suit Spider-Man, of all the ones out there, I think these are the two best ones for me, for what I want to do with them. For posing kind of stuff, but then for silly, fun kind of things, this is a winner here with the Pizza Spidey. Also, the fact that I feel like I get my Spectacular Spider-Man here versus my McFarlane Spider-Man kind of vibe. Not McFarlane toys, but McFarlane like mask kind of setup. This is the one to go for. If you are someone that likes to like do things and pose them around different stuff, you can't beat this with all the extra stuff. I mean, honestly, the web shield that's on the side is really cool. The Spider Sense add-on is kind of fun, and this does fit on the other Spider-Man too, so you can do that. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm thinking if you're looking at two Spider-Man, these are the two you should get. And I'm going to say overall, these are both great figures. I guess I would have to go with the Maximum just for the, if you're a collector and you just want to have one Spider-Man, this is probably the better one to have because of all the stuff you can do with it. However, if you're someone like me that's more like, hey, I pose it once and leave it on the shelf, or I just kind of like watch it and play with it occasionally, the silliness and funness, this one captures Peter Parker, Spider-Man's like silly side, the things we loved about him when we were a kid, like reading the comic books and stuff and the cartoons. This has got that sarcastic Spidey kind of vibe, especially when you have the half mask on. And this one has more of the smarmy Spider-Man kind of thing. So there is definitely a different vibe when you have those. So I hope this helps you know which one might be best for you. Both of them are well worth getting. Which am I going to display more? Oof. I will probably have Pizza Spidey displaying more on my shelf than I will this one. They will both be displayed, but I think this Pizza Spidey might get a little bit more of this display shelf in terms of prominent side of it, because he's just a fun character. This is a great character. Both of them are great. Can't go wrong. But what's your idea? Which one did you like better? Did you pay the extra to get the Maximum Series, or are you okay with one of the oldest ones? And I'll be honest, now when you're trying to buy them, they cost the same. So figure out which one's best for you, and I wish you all the best. And what are some other ones we're going to compare? Should we try the Hulk when the new Maximum Hulk comes out, or should we go through the literally, I don't know, probably 100 Marvel Legends figures that my kids have downstairs in my basement? I can bring those up, though I don't think we'll have the extra things. It'll be more figure-to-figure based because kids don't always save all the parts. So yeah. This is really fun. I really like both these. These are both really, really good ones, so you can't go wrong. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye!